there, it's Tish with Star Love Healing. I am here to do the North Node in Scorpio collective energy reading. So that would mean that you have your North Node in Scorpio. And I will say with my readings that I typically do readings for you, not about people that are in your life. This is going to be a self-guided channeling for what you need to know on your journey. And also, I do readings for your North Node because I feel like divination is a wonderful tool to give you insight and wisdom. And what better thing to be getting that for than your destined path, which is your North Node. It is your purpose, why you're here, if you will. And I think we all want to know that, right? And we also want to know what situations in our life are more like designed to get us to what we came here to accomplish, and not really focus on the things that are kind of like noise, outside noise. So, all right, so if you're new, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you again so much for coming back. I have pulled some oracle cards just to get the vibe, but also to speed up the reading, hopefully. But we will do some tarot and Lenormand clarifying cards. So, the vibe. All right. I really feel like this is a time for you, North Node Scorpio, to really seek knowledge. And like, this is a seeker time. We've got, the intelligence card, education, knowledge, perception, flexibility. We also have guidance, support, love, signs, direction. And then we have the last card, detach from drama, look up. So, although I don't really feel like all of you are just in this like hopelessness feeling, there might be a level of it in some realm of your life that you feel this way about. And I believe that's what we're getting these signs and guidance and learning about. But I feel like this is so beautiful because if you are getting intelligence on something, that means you're actively acknowledging that it needs to expand in your life. There needs to be a growth point. I just saw a vision of like tectonics. I hope I'm saying that right. Plates that are moving, right? Doesn't feel good when you're having that if you're on top of Earth, it doesn't feel good to be feeling that. But those tectonic plates, they don't have a understanding of anything other than we're moving, guys. We've got some energy and we're moving and we're growing and we're repositioning because it's meant to be repositioned. So this might not look or feel great, and it might. I don't know. It's a collective reading, so it really depends on how it actually plays out, right? But the one thing that will be done with this is growth. And I feel like if this is where we're starting and you have any kind of drama in your life, I feel like if this card is out, then that means you are detaching from that said drama. Meaning, I just heard, if you move and acknowledge it and see it, then you will be better likely to leave it. That might actually be a physicalness about it, leaving a person, place, or thing. But it also, when I felt it and heard it, was more of like, if you acknowledge a problem, is it really a problem anymore? Like, and if you've acknowledged it and you've worked through it and realized A, B, and C about a problem, you probably don't see it as big of a problem as you did before you learned about it and you expanded yourself. That's called spiritual growth. But it also is called educational growth. If you have a pain in your side and you're like sitting there just, I don't know what this is, but it hurts. What's the first thing you do? You go to I don't know, back in the day when internet was just brand new, you'd go to WebMD, and oh God, that was the worst thing you could do. But it did give you some like, okay, well, it could be this or it could be that. And that could either rile you up or make you calmer. It feels like that is this situation here where it's like you're kind of maybe in between. That's a message in itself. You could maybe be believing there's two extremes, and those two extremes are so extreme that it's making those tectonic plates be like, what are you going to go with here? Like, neither one of us work well together, so you got to pick one. But I feel like whatever this is, you're going to find the right one to pick and go with. And what I was trying, that was a long way of saying this, but your vibration won't acknowledge it being a thing anymore. So you won't even have it in your life because it's not a thing anymore. The example they're giving me is like a toy that's outgrown. It's not that you don't need to, it's not that you're choosing, well, I just don't want that toy anymore. It's that you've outgrown that toy. And then one day it's just gone. Because it's like you could be sitting in front of like 3 toys, and if you've played with that toy so much that it's not like you've done every single thing with it, you might not even see that toy sitting in front of you. You only see the other 2. That's how you become a vibrational match to other things. And it can be as easy as like a smooth transition. Some things are like a smooth transition, and others are pretty big transitions. So, oh, okay, well, I have to keep those because it does feel a little applicable. Says the devil and 10 of Wands, burden. I really feel like this is something that's been on your mind 24/7. It is rent-free in your head. The worries, the concerns, the anxiety, the what ifs. It's all consuming. These 2 cards with that picture are the same thing. That's a clarification. But guess what, guys? These are just energies. You just gotta let them pass through you. It's not meant to sit in for too long, but you still have to feel it. We all do. So acknowledging that it, is just a feeling, and then acknowledging, well, why am I still feeling this? Why am I still in this pattern? That is incredible growth, to even be able to just sit there and detach from your thought process and go, why am I thinking this? What triggered that? What made me even wonder or have an emotional response to feel like I have to care about this, that it is something I need to deal with, or like, what was its purpose? And then you can maybe look at, if you actually dive deep on that, then you go, it has no purpose. It's an old story. I moved on to another chapter. Why are you still here? But then you go, oh, I can just flip the page. I know that sounds easy, like, oh, that's so cliche for me to say, but it's interesting how when you're in a situation, when you're kind of been pushed to this place, and you just sit there and think about your brain working, and like, my brain had a million other things it could have gone to, but it went right back to that situation and that pattern or that thought process. Why? And then you go, oh, because that's what I've been focusing on for the last 2 months. My brain's in a pattern right now. Well, it's time to, put a little turn that you don't normally take on that route. and then you kind of get out of it. Not maybe fast, but you do. And I don't know why I'm having to tell you this, but I am. So this is kind of a quick little sidebar to elaborate on that, because I feel like this is super important for you right now, because you're getting your own intelligence about this. Okay, you're getting your own guidance. But this was the guidance I've gotten in the last month or so regarding this same energy. I had a person in my car, and they sneezed. They were in my back seat, but it was like a weird sneeze. It was like a half sneeze, and I kind of was like, did they sneeze? Like, matter of seconds, right? How fast your brain processes. I went, oh, he sneezed. And then my brain started saying, yawn, yawn. Because you know how if you hear the word yawn or you see someone yawn, you want to yawn. Your brain does it. It's a pattern. And this has always been one of the questions I wanted to ask God when I met them. I had my little one-on-one with God or the universe or whoever you deem as your person. I wanted to ask that to my creator. Why do we yawn? I get it, but also I don't get it. I'm sure there's a physical reason, but also there's a deeper meaning here because it's so connected between all of us, right? So I'm in this. I think it's interesting that was the question I've always wanted to ask God. And then this entire situation happened. I'm sitting there, I hear him yawn. My brain instantly goes into pattern recognition and goes, you need to yawn. Yawn right now. And I'm sitting there talking to my brain going, I don't even know if they yawned though. It kind of sounded like it, but I also don't really know, so I'm not doing that. And then I didn't. I was able to curb that pattern recognition. The guy in the back does it another 2 times, the longest, deepest yawns. And I was like, well, I can't ignore that. But you know what's interesting? Is I did not have on either one of those yawns a pattern recognition that said, yawn, you need to yawn now. Go, now, do it. Somehow, me acknowledging my brain had a pattern, and me telling my brain not to yawn actually kind of broke that pattern. And since then, I have yet to yawn at someone else yawning. Now, I'll yawn because my own body needs to yawn, but it's not a response. That is trippy. So I hope that clarifies in a real life example what I'm trying to convey here. So, okay, we've got Star, Major Arcana. Oh my God, the Hierophant, Major Arcana. A lot of big cycles, energies that the universe is pushing you to move through. And then Princess of Discs, Manifestation. Hold all of your cycles in proud illumination. The moon has cycles. We can be in this burdened energy, obsessive thinking energy, but that has got a time and a place and an expiration date. Be like the moon, okay? And then King of Cups, emotional control. It doesn't say emotional control, but it just says control. But it's the King of Cups. A man who, or not a man, excuse me, a masculine energy that is very much in the flow. The Hierophant, the Star. This is all about being positive, being hopeful, seeing dreams come true. Even if you don't see them come true, you feel them come true inside. And this is the Hierophant, which is a deep belief system. Deep knowing. I think you're healing some deep core belief system that is helping you move forward and manifest what you actually want instead of what controls you into wanting. You're taking control of what you want. And that, I believe, is a different mindset than sitting here and feeling like that. Wow. What can we clarify this, guys, with North Node Scorpio? We got Strength card here, the Sun energy, Queen of Fire, and it's the Leo sign. Something in the summer. Does also say within 7 and 14 days. But the Queen of Fire is highly intuitive. They lead with passion, their solar plexus. They do what they say, and they say what they mean. And then we got the Journey and the Crow that came out. And I just heard, and I don't know the saying, but I heard half of it or like a blip of it. Straight as the crow flies. Is that a saying? He said yes. Did you hear that? Yeah, that baby. My little black kitty that looks like a walking crow, right? But it says remembering, like it's remembering your path. You have multiple choices here. Detach from drama. If both of those roads lead to drama, then don't take either one and fly straight as a crow to where you're supposed to be. But it says remembering magical power. We got manifestation here. Magic. But the magic, that is because you embody it and believe it and know. But it also says observant and an omen. And I think that is something, a new event or happening. I think that goes back to this intelligence card and the guidance. You will intuitively know what is the key to your freedom here. I feel like it's going to be even though there's no Tower card here or the Hermit card, I still feel like it's going to be an aha moment for you. It's like a timeline change. All right, guys, I think that has got all the energy I need to be like sharing with you today. I hope that's helped you on this path. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And beautiful. That's all I can really say. It's a great reading. You're a great person. And I can't wait for you to feel the sheer power that this change makes in your life for yourself. So, all right, y'all. Till next time, I'll see y'all around. Bye.